Hey everybody, happy Wednesday, July 14th, 2019. Now about 5:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You are listening to me. I am cruising to work, so it looks like you're cruising with Kelly. And for all my buds out there that joke about my cruising with Kelly, you know you listen to me, so it's all good. So, hey, my topic today is, I was on the topic for the past couple of days about never let negative run space in your head. Never let negative run space in your being. Never let negative run space in your spirit. And the damage that holding on to things that we can't control, the damage of holding on to negativity and how we might think we have our lives together, how that damage can creep in on us when, we don't even realize it until something goes wrong. So no matter how hard it is, and I kind of refer to the world as one giant sticky bun, right? Life can be sweet, but it's so stinking sticky and messy in some areas. And sometimes that stickiness tangles us up, ties us down, and causes us grief, right? And I'm not talking about temporary grief where maybe you get in a disagreement over a parking spot, because the simplest things, those parking spots, especially during the holidays, they become real. I'm talking about the things that we want to happen, the things that we plan for, and things go wrong and we lose sleep over them. I'm not talking about the major things where we have no control when those we love leave us, right? God gives and He takes away. Everybody's here on a time, and we don't know what our time is, seriously. So during the time that we are here, we should all really do our best to not let negative rent space up in our spirit and our being, rob us from anything. And it's hard. It's very hard. There are things out there, people looking for work, people going through health issues, people are going, trying to recover from things that happened to them at the hands of others. I mean, life is hard. There's all kinds of elements, if you will, that beat us up, beat us down. But kind of like that song on the Elements album, we need to bend and not break. We need to give it back to God, firstly. If you don't have a relationship with God, if you don't know who Jesus is, you need to call out to Him right where you are, because you don't have to go to a special building. You don't have to be in any special area. You can talk to Jesus right where you are. The living being, the living spirit that comes to live within you only happens when you willingly, openly have that relationship one-on-one with Him. Yeah, you should learn what has been biblically written, absolutely. Even if you don't understand it, because there's a lot of stuff I don't understand. And then there's a lot of things when it comes to the Bible that, man, there was hardship, there was abuse, there was violence, there was all of that stuff 2,000 years ago that we still have it. But there's also a peace for those who believe. So I am no authoritative figure when it comes to the Bible. I only can tell you that every day I'm given, I learn more and more. In fact, me and my small group Bible study, we've been going through the book of Revelations. We finally tackled it, and wow, I can't tell you what an incredible learning experience our group has been having. The questions, the more we read through and the more questions and the more stuff that comes up, it's challenging us, and we're digging in and we're learning so much. Now, we'll never be subject matter experts, or for me, I will never claim to have all that together, but what I can tell you is the more you learn, the more you want to learn. And for those of you that don't understand that, or don't, really, it's not a boring book. It is not a boring book by any means. And from experience, one of the ladies in our group, I met with them, a couple people briefly yesterday on my way home, and one of the ladies was saying how she turned on another program, I think it was yesterday, and she started listening, and they started talking about the book of Revelations. And this was a TV figure, and how they, in different terminology, referred to some of the stuff that we had learned, but confirmed the exact same thing. So it's not like people are out there making this stuff up, you know. I mean, you all may have your reasons of what you read, when you read, why you read. I'm just saying, when you dig in, there is valid truth in the different things that happen with the Bible. And you know what? The relationship between you and God is between you and God, you and Jesus. And could you surround yourself with positive, motivational, positive motives, positive spirits, positive growth, and remove the meism from your inside being and start thinking about others? Yeah, I think everybody should. I think if we all stop thinking about our own individual being and what is going to be for us and making it all about us, and start thinking about outside the box and thinking about what about other people, I think life would be a lot more pleasant, and we wouldn't have to worry about the negative space as much. It still happens, but we wouldn't have to worry about it as much layering up on us. Because when you get that relationship, my experience, when you have that relationship, life isn't perfect. Life still happens. Things still go wrong. People still break your heart. You still get hurt over other things. But there's a peace about it, and an assurance and a hope that fills you, that gets you through, other than being so layered up with heaviness and unknown and anxiety that you end up with paralysis. Your body shuts down, you're freaked out, you're constantly in turmoil. Everything is a fire drill. That kind of goes away. So, my experience, can't make anybody do anything. And obviously, if you listen to me for a reason, not just because I'm crazy, not just because you're my friends, not just because you love me, or not just because you need a good laugh. But some of this makes a lot of sense, and you all know it. If you haven't experienced it, you know people who have. So all I'm saying is, if you haven't gotten yourself in a good Bible-based church, you should. Surround yourself with positive, inspiring people that don't have it all together, but try daily to make sure they do. That are out there constantly trying to be a little brighter than what's going on around them. That are out there ready to listen, ready to help where they can, but not enabling and doing everything for someone so they can't do it for themselves. That's all I'm saying. Those people that believe to do whatever it takes to keep it real and not let negative space rent up in their being, up in knowing that it robs you. It robs you from your spirit. It robs you from your health. It robs you from everything. Maybe not immediately, but it does. I'm trying to figure out my button here. Let's see. There we go. But anyway, so besides that, it is Wednesday. It's been a pretty good week. It's been a soggy week. Right now it's dry. When I left the house, it was raining. Yesterday, just out of nowhere, we were having like monsoon rains, and then it would stop. Monsoon rains, and then it would stop. All part of nature. Especially in Florida. We are in hurricane season. Hurricane season in Florida, and this area, I can only speak to Florida because that's where I've been living since '97. But hurricane season is June 1st through November 30th. June 1st through November 30th. And what does that mean? So far, we're blessed. We haven't had any really bad storms. And hopefully our whole season will go like that. We've had a very wet season. Now, I don't know if that's above average or below average. I don't even care about all that. But I would rather have the rain every day and sun in between than a Category 5 coming at me and not knowing what to expect. There's some of that stuff that layers up, that can be stressful, that can be negative. Because look at all the people that lost everything. And that is such a valid point. When you go out there and you look on the news and you say those poor people that just lost everything in a flood, those poor people that just lost everything in a fire, those poor people that just lost everything in a storm that blew through. If you're out there putting all you are, making your life, and it's determined on what you have, you're doing it all wrong. I'm sorry, you're doing it all wrong. Because material things can be taken away, and you know this by seeing it on the news. They can be taken away in a split second. What matters is the things that you carry with you. The positive, beautiful moments and memories that you carry with you. And yeah, it hurts like hell when you lose photographs, if that's the only thing you have left of someone. If you lose something special that used to be someone's. But reality is, material things are temporary. People are only here on loan. Life truly is what we make it in between. And if we take and we chase all of the material things in the world and we think our life is based on what we have collected, you know that old saying, the one who dies with the most toys wins? How are you a winner? How do you win if you die and you can't take any of that with you and it's all left behind? I came home after living in my house that I'm at now. I came home after living there for 2 years, and there was a house on the corner that every now and again property people would come and they'd take care of the place. But apparently there was an elderly person that lived there, and they got sick and they got put in a home, and they paid for property people to come out and maintain their place. Whether it was family or not, I couldn't tell you. But after 2 years, I came home one day, and every single thing that was inside that house was dumped in a pile out in the driveway. And I was mortified to think, who would do such a thing? Well, come to find out, that poor person, they never made it back out. They ended up sickly. They ended up not making it back out. And the people that they had been paying all that time to take care of what they thought they were going to come back to never paid the bills. And the bank took the house. And when the bank came in, they didn't care about the story of the person that had owned the house. They didn't care about the memories or the things that were inside the house. They took every single thing and dumped it out in the driveway for the world to come steal. And it was like cockroaches, I swear. I'd never seen so many people in my neighborhood until that day when all that stuff was out in the driveway. And then it was like cockroaches coming out of the woodwork. People from all around they watched. There's always somebody watching. You may not think so, but there are. And people were coming and they were picking through the stuff. Now, mind you, I was mortified because that, even though I know you can't take it with you, to think that poor person, that's all there was left of their life, and it got thrown out like some piece of trash because all it was material items left in the world. Life is harsh, y'all. Negative can layer up on you, and negative can destroy you from the inside out. And we have a choice. Our choices are our own. The results may not go according to the way we planned, but they might go really, really well, or they may go really, really south. But those results of any choice that you make are going to be like a tsunami that come out and wash over everything that's in your way. They may not be what you want. And if they're not, try again. But on the other hand to that, don't let negative rent space up in your head, and just know that life is not the material things you collect. It is an awesome thing to have nice things. It is an awesome blessing to have things that at the end can be tossed out into a driveway, and you still have more when you're gone, even though they mean nothing anymore, than some people in countries that have absolutely nothing. Because let me tell you, that's the other thing. Paying it forward is more than just sending money to people that need it, is more than doing stuff. Paying it forward could be a kind word, could be a smile, could be an action, Could be a meal, could be a card, could be a thinking about you, could be how are you doing today, could be let me pray for you. Paying it forward does not necessarily have to take up space or your life or your bank account. But it does help if you are helping those that are in dire need. And if you go overseas, you don't have to go on a missions trip. I've not yet been on a missions trip. I need to. But I've been out of the country a handful of times now. And I've been to the different places in the islands where some of those people that live in those tin roof shacks with dirt floors they don't have separate bedroom, living room, kitchen. They don't have running water. They don't have even a change of clothes. Some of those people are happier from the inside out than people that have everything. Do they have needs? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because why do we help people? To prevent them from getting sick and spreading disease, right? Why do we help people? Because if we're a caring soul, that's what we do. Not everybody helps. Some people like to take advantage. Some people don't. We're not all made the same, but we're all made in the image of God. And we're all going to have to answer when it comes time to check out. Believe what you want. I'm just stating the fact of what I believe, so. As I'm sipping on my coffee, I believe it's a must that I have at least one cup of coffee in the morning, especially as I'm driving down the road. After all these years, it's a routine. Well, routines are made to be broken, right? Don't necessarily have to have coffee. I just do it, and it tastes good. Anyway, so renting negative space up in your being, up in your persona, up in your spirit, you're taking a risk when you allow it in. Yeah, just like crazy drivers. You find more and more traffic out in the wee hours of the morning because they're trying to avoid that really thick layers of traffic that jams us up later. It's no different in life, right? We try to avoid things so that it makes our ride or our days just a little bit smoother. And that's all I'm saying is don't let negative rent space all up in your being. Some things are going to happen we have no control over. Other things we can work towards making better. We can't control anybody. We can't make anybody care about us. And although there are some people out there that try to control others by being a bully, by being dominant, by being abusive, if you're stuck in one of those relationships, get out. Seek help, seek shelter, but don't stay in an abusive relationship. And by all means, don't be the abuser. Because I also believe in karma. I might believe in Jesus, but I know that at some point somebody's going to pay the price for the misdeeds that they do. Y'all got your own things that you can believe in. I can tell you from my experience being a kid that grew up in the inner city and traveled back and forth from and through Florida, I've experienced a lot, not always positive, but I can tell you this. When you cut so badly and you end up with stitches, you end up with scars, but the wound heals. When you break a bone, it may sometimes never look the same, but it heals. Emotional scars, emotional wounds will heal if you let them. You can't ignore them. You can't let them just chew you up and eat you up and spit you out and destroy you from the inside out. You can't let that happen. You have to come to terms with what was and work towards what could be. None of us know what tomorrow's going to be. We can make our best laid plans and then we can get totally turned upside down and think that our life is over when our plans don't turn out. Don't let it destroy you. If something doesn't work out, keep trying. I by far am never saying don't try to have the best of everything. Don't try to live and enjoy life. Don't try to enjoy the moments that you are given if you have the opportunities to be blessed. What I'm saying is don't let negative space run up in your head when something goes wrong. And it will. People are human. People are going to let you down. You're going to let other people down. Things aren't going to always go the way we want them to. So while they are, appreciate every single second that we're given and take whatever is not working and learn it as a lesson and acknowledge it as a blessing that you've been able to learn. Most importantly, again, I can't say it enough, make Jesus your best friend. Learn to rely on Him, learn about Him, learn to see the world and the vision that He's seen with. Learn to have a heart as His heart was. Learn to hurt for the things that hurt Him. Anyway, it's kind of a touchy subject, I'm telling you, don't let negative space run up in your head and, your attitudes. Your attitude of what you carry around with you does impact the perception that you leave others to see, does impact your priorities, does impact your personality. And of course, all of that can lead back to how you posture yourself in life. You can walk around being an angry young woman or young man. You could walk around and say, because I don't have this or that, I'm going to get it. Or you could even be putting yourself out there for others to just use up because you think by getting that physical affirmation is going to fill you up for what things are really tearing you down. It's not. It's not. No matter how much you give yourself away, it's a temporary thing. Anyway, I think that it's time that, in this life, how nice would it be if everything was perfect? If our ride was smooth and there was never no traffic, if every sunrise was the most beautiful, every sunset was the most beautiful, we got to experience every one. That there was never any storms in life. That things were always perfect. Perfection is just in the eyes, in the mind's eye of the one who's seeing it. What I see is perfect may not be for others. What I believe in may not be what you believe in. What I like may not be what you like. But when it is, we don't have to like each other, we don't have to love each other, but we do have to respect each other. We do need to be loyal to the Creator that gave us the life in the first place, and we should be loyal to the one that gave us the life in the first place. And we should be appreciative of every single thing that happens to us, for us, with us, and those around us. And by all means, you may have to stand next to somebody that you can't stand the cologne that they're wearing. Step a little further away. You don't have to love and appreciate everything that's around you, but you should respect it. Anyway, it's a touchy subject, and I guess, I could have taken on something else. But my goal here is not to talk about loyalty and respect and respecting ourselves and maintaining that maintaining your virtues in general, not giving yourself away like some old piece of, clothing that once you wore out, you're tossed aside. Don't do that. Don't do that. Appreciate who you are, respect who you are, and let others know that you were made for more. And most importantly, that no matter what happens, good, bad, or indifferent, when things are hard, pray harder. Get yourself in a good Bible-based church. Surround yourself up with no agenda friends. People that believe in the good Lord. People that want better. People that are trying not to hold on and let negative space come in. And people that you are willing to stand next to when they are going through something negative and they just need that shoulder to lean on. And you know that they'll be there for you. Remember, pay it forward. That old cranky person next door is going through something. So smile and say hello. Doesn't matter how many times they don't answer you. Hold the door for someone. Make a meal for a shut-in. See what you can do in your neighborhood. See what kids need, what food. There is a lot of needs out there in the world that don't have to be extravagant or rob you. And by all means, if you know somebody that needs something done, step up and help them. Don't be so selfish. Pay it forward. Don't let negative space run up in your being and rob you from the life you're meant to have. You're made for more, you're loved more, and you're worth more than this world can ever give or take. On that note, until next time, stay blessed.